Raw and Nerdy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Raw and Nerdy. This is episode 70. I am Joe the Widget, and I am joined by my fellow nerd and excellent co-host, Archon.
What's up, everybody? We're back after a week off. Sorry we missed you guys. We just had a whole lot of things going on. Rook couldn't record, and we were both kind of a little busy. So
Yeah, say the least.
we apologize for the break, but we're back now. Just the two of us, because unfortunately Rook decided he wanted to go watch NASCAR today, so he's not with us today either. But he'll be back next week.
Hopefully.
He says he will.
Yeah.
And then we could continue our gaming through the ages, because we don't want to do Xbox without Rook.
Definitely not. And we don't want to skip Xbox 360 because that goes against what we're doing. So Archon and I decided to do a little look at 2025 in terms of gaming and movies and one TV show.
And one TV show, because, that had to be on there.
Like we were talking about, though, my life's been absolutely insane. And, like, everything is happening so fast all at once. Like, I'm being completely thrust into a completely new life. I have the same job, but it's at a new location.
It is. I mean, it's a different job, though, isn't it? It's like a promotion, so it's a little different.
Yeah. I am technically a system administrator, and I'm going to be taking over our two busiest offices in the entire union by far. The amount of members and staff in the two offices I'm taking over is about equal to all the other 11 offices combined. Would equal what my two offices are. And I'm also supporting San Diego, which is our corporate, which we have our corporate office there as well. But I'm doing Riverside and Orange County.
Yeah, I can see where that would be busy.
Yeah, it's insane. And I did go with my lady. We went last Thursday into Riverside to looking for apartments. We had like a list of 4 to go check out, and we were going to apply on one of those. So I took her by the office because the place that we decided to apply for that we really liked is 5 minutes away from my office. It's literally 0.6 miles away, about 4 blocks. So I go down 2 blocks one road.
Walk.
Yeah, 2 blocks down the other road, and I'm at the office. I am going to be bringing my mountain bike with me, so I'm going to ride my mountain bike when the weather's nice. And Riverside's a beautiful location. It's right by all the mountains on the northern side of LA. So it's southern LA, but northern, up next to all the mountains, surrounded by mountains. And we're about an hour away from the beach, or less.
Pretty close to Big Bear, too, right?
Yeah, really close. We can get there in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, right up the mountain.
Yep. So it does get cold, but it's not as hot as LA gets during the summer, which is nice. But my lady is Filipino, so she's really used to hot.
Yeah, I remember that drive.
Cold.
I used to make that drive up from like up Riverside and up to Big Bear, and I remember there's like lots of really cool waterfalls and stuff on the way up there. It's a nice drive.
We did find a 1-bedroom with a den. That's one thing that we really wanted to look for, was space for me to do my podcasting and have my home office, because I work from home sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So we found a really nice 1-bedroom, kitchen, dining, nice living room. It's a second floor apartment, but it's got that patio there, and we can bring my dog Marley, which I'm excited about.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, how many floors are there total?
2.
So it's nice to have a second floor, because then you don't have people running around on top of you.
Yeah, that's true. We'll be the ones running around on top.
Yep.
I think her and I will be pretty quiet. Who am I kidding? I'm with a Filipino lady. But my Filipino lady is absolutely incredible. The sweetest person alive. But she likes making fun of me too.
Yes, she'll fit right in.
She fits right in with the club.
All right.
She always tells me, I make fun of you because I love you. Oh, great. This is the love I'm in for. But we love the new place. We have no furniture. I have a bed and some room furniture and a desk for my office. And that's it. Because she doesn't have any furniture. She's been living with her client. She's a 24-hour nurse, hospice nurse. And she works 24 hours a day, every other day. Well, she did. But her client passed recently. She was living in their guest house with her coworker and best friend. So all she had when she moved to the States a few years ago was her clothes and shoes. And that's all she still has. She just has more of those. 4 trash bags worth of clothes.
Sounds like a good way to start a life together, though. You get to pick out all your own furniture now.
Yeah.
Make a trip over to IKEA, and then you can build all your own furniture, too. That's always fun.
There's an IKEA not too far away.
I know.
And a Costco and everything else. But we're spending so much money on this apartment, we're not going to have enough money for really any furniture.
For a little while.
Not for a little while, yeah. But they did give us the 3rd month free. Swingled them a little bit. Yeah. But Riverside's crazy expensive. My apartment's $1,900 a month.
But on the bright side, I mean, you'll have like dual incomes now instead of just you. Because she still is working, isn't she? She
No,
gonna
and
find
not
a
with
new
her.
client?
She's got to find a new client because her last one passed, so she's technically out of work for a while. So
Okay.
she's probably going to be out of work for a few months, which is fine. I can definitely manage.
Make it work.
Yeah, I mean, we got the apartment solely off of my income.
Right.
So it
Yeah,
works
right.
out. And I'm hoping to get one more promotion at work because that position opened up, but they're not sure when they're going to fill it yet. And that's the assistant director of IT. And that would be a very big pay raise. And this reason I took this job in Riverside is because that's going to put me on that path to get it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's what I've been up to. It's been craziness. I haven't really had time to watch anything other than YouTube when I'm trying to relax at night. And I've been playing Avowed every chance I get, which is only a few hours this last week. Hopefully I'll get some more time in, but I'm going to go get a new car on Tuesday, hopefully. And then I'm moving Wednesday.
Wow.
And I gotta be in Bakersfield on Monday to help the new guy that took over my position there to set up the office because they decided to move everything around in the office. So yeah, it's craziness. But I get to record right now. I'm happy.
Awesome. Well, my week has been a little all over the place, but I've done a lot of nerdy stuff this week, so that's always fun.
Good. Lay it on me.
Number one, I finished Suits. Finished the whole show.
Oh, you did? I knew it was gonna happen soon.
It was so good. And then, like, I had heard that they were going to start a spin-off series or something. And then I saw a trailer for it. It apparently came out last Sunday. So I'm going to wait until at least the first season of that's done before I watch it. But it looks good. It's called Suits LA. And it's got...
Yeah, I've heard about that.
The main character is Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow. So that'll be kind of cool. I like him. He's one of my favorite actors because I used to love Green Arrow. I was obsessed with that show for a long time. So it'll be fun to check out. Plus, the first episode's got Victoria Justice in it, and she's one of the top on my list.
I don't remember who that is.
Victoria Justice.
Yeah, I'll look that up. Go ahead, continue.
She's in quite a bit of stuff. But after I finished Suits, I was kind of scrambling of like what I wanted to watch next. And I was deciding between... I was talking to my wife about it, and I was deciding between rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer again.
Oh.
It would probably be like my third time through the show.
Oh, dude. Do you know what I did a few years ago? When I had some free time? I rewatched all of Hercules.
Oh, wow.
I
Kevin
loved
Sorbo?
that show. Yeah.
I used to watch that and Xena with my dad.
Yep.
The two, because they kept crossing over all the time, so we'd watch both.
Josser the mighty, he's neat and tidy.
Nice. But yeah, I was debating between Buffy the Vampire Slayer, watching through that again, and then when I was thinking about that, I heard there's been rumors for a while about a Buffy revival, not a reboot, but a revival with all the main cast coming back. Well, at least the ones that can. And it's been a rumor for a while, and I started seeing these TikTok videos of Sarah Michelle Gellar in the gym, hitting it hard, training hard, and I'm like, wait. And then she just announced a couple days ago on TikTok, she put out and then on Instagram, she put out an announcement saying that they're close to being done with a script for the revival, and that it's happening.
Really, they're gonna do it, huh?
They said that they would only do it if they could do it right. And they're going to do it. They figured out a way to do it right and do it justice, and
we'll see.
So I'm pretty pumped. But ultimately, I did not go with Buffy. I went with Supernatural.
That's a good one, too.
I haven't finished that show yet, and I've only made it 10 seasons in, and there's 15 total. But I was like, it's been so long since I watched it, I got to start over. So I started over. I've already got through the whole first season, which Netflix... This is a PG show, so I can't say what I want to say to you, but how dare you take Carry On My Wayward Son out of the show? That's every season, the finale, when the finale starts, it always plays Carry On My Wayward Son, but on Netflix, they changed it. They took it out. They must have lost the rights to the song or something.
Yeah, most likely.
So they took it out, and I got to that final episode, and I'm like, yes, what? I was so let down. It was... such a letdown.
Honey, if you're listening, don't think anything of this, but Victoria Justice is pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why she's on my list.
She's a kid, though. she's what, in her late 20s or 30s?
She's, I want to say 33 or 34. She just
had
a
not
birthday the other day.
Nope, not a kid.
She
looks like she's 21.
She's the same, right around the same age as my wife, I'm pretty sure. Maybe a year younger, so.
She's 32.
Oh, so 2 years younger. 32 right now? She just turned 32? Okay, so she's 2 years younger than my wife. Anyway, so yeah, other than that, I've been hitting the gym pretty hard. I'm really, really bad about quitting things, especially if I take breaks. I always end up quitting. So I've told myself that I'm going to the gym every day. Um, I'm still doing 2 rest days a week, except for on those rest days, instead of going and not doing anything and resting, I'm just going to do cardio. I'll just
Are you
go
doing
there.
those as split rest days or are you doing back to back?
My plan is Wednesdays and Sundays.
Okay, split's the way
and
to do
have
it.
and have those days just be just cardio. Just
Yeah.
go in. That way I'm still moving, I'm still being active, I'm still in the habit of going to the gym because I have this bad habit of I will start a gym membership, I'll go, I'll be like, "Oh, yeah," for like 2 weeks and then I'll be like, "Oh, well, I'm going to take a rest day today." And then the next day I'll be like, "Well, I'm kind of sore, so I'm not going to go today." And then it'll turn into it's been a week since I've been to the gym and then so I'm not even going to do that this time. I'm just going to go and get myself in the habit of being there every day so that I don't
That's
give
good.
myself the opportunity to quit because I got goals and I want to hit these goals. And one of my goals is that I'm going to Florida for spring break in a month. A month from right now, I'll be in Florida. I'm going on the 29th. So we're leaving here on the 29th. And I want to I want to drop some weight before I go because A, we're going to the beach. I'm not gonna get looking good before I go to the beach. That's for darn sure. But B, we're also going to Universal while we're there, and I really want to ride Velocicoaster. And if I go all the way down there to ride Velocicoaster and they tell me I'm too big and can't get on it, I'm gonna be mad. So I want to lose about 20-ish pounds in the next month.
That's pretty extreme.
I can do it. I usually when I first start working out and dieting, and most people are like this for the first like if you're pretty overweight, you drop weight pretty quick at first before you start plateauing out. So
Yeah, I hit
hopefully
my
that's the
plateau
case.
right around 190. I'm finally below it. I'm right at 188 and still just 3 pounds heavier than my goal, but it took me 6 months to get there.
Well, it's gonna take me a while to get to my goal. My goal is sub 200.
But what I'm saying is I dropped 22 pounds
Mm-hmm.
in that 6 months. It was,
But you weren't near as overweight as I am. I'm dropping if I hit my goal, I'm dropping almost about 65 pounds. So I'm much more overweight, so I have a lot to lose before I start plateauing. So we'll see.
I'm sure you'll get close. I'd be surprised if you made it. Proud of you, very proud of you, but it's tough to hit that much that quick.
Yeah, right now I'm averaging
Almost to the point
right
of being
around
unhealthy to hit that much that quick.
yes and no. I mean, I'm making a lot of lifestyle changes. Like I was telling my wife, I was like, "Yeah, I'm cutting my calories down to just like no more than 2,400 a day right now." And she's like, "2,400 a day? That's still a lot." And I'm like, "Honey, do you realize?" I sat down and looked at how much calories I was eating before. I was like, "You realize before I was like probably somewhere around like 3,500 to 4,000 a day." So cutting it down to if I tried to cut it down to 2,000, I would probably feel like I'm starving all the time. And I broke it down to her. I was like, "Yeah, you realize I used to drink like 5 to 6 cans of soda a day, which is like there's like almost 200 calories in a can of soda. That's like 1,000 calories a day in just what I was drinking, not even what I was eating." And she's like, "Wow." She's like, "Yeah, that is pretty insane."
So the human body
Oh,
naturally burns calories every day because it's energy.
right.
And for most people, how much you burn just by doing your daily activities is between 1,300 and 2,000 calories a day. So you only got like 400 calories to burn because that's the idea for those who don't know on the air is you want to burn more calories than you intake. That's how you get rid of fat because your body then substitutes that calorie intake by pulling off your fat. So what you're doing is the right way. I would say you're
But
probably
at
burning
the
about
same
3K.
time, probably pretty close because usually with my workouts and stuff like that, I aim to hit about like because I have like my Apple Watch and stuff like that, my trackers and stuff, and I try to aim to hit about 1,000 per workout. So
Keep
plus
that
my
heart rate
normal
going.
daily.
Yeah.
The problem is that like I was telling her, I was like, if I get to the point where I'm burning like 1,500 more calories than I'm eating a day, yes, I'm gonna potentially lose more weight, but that's gonna be a lot more unhealthy for me
Yeah,
because you
exactly.
don't want to burn too much. You want to be in a calorie deficit, but not like a calorie drought, because
Yeah.
otherwise your body goes into like panic mode.
And
So
that starts taking from places you don't want it to take, and you can wind up in the hospital pretty quick.
so I'm trying to do it as healthy as I can. As I start losing a little bit weight and get more into it, then I'll probably drop it down to 2,000. But for now, I want to keep it.
Dude, you're doing it the right way. You can't cut that much all at once. Your body's gonna, like you said, it's not gonna like it. It's gonna be rough on you mentally as well as physically. Yeah, you're doing it the right way.
So yeah, and I don't want to do too much too fast because that's how I'll burn out and quit too. So
I'm really proud of you and Rook for what you guys have been doing. I think it's absolutely awesome.
yeah, Rook's been hitting it pretty hard too. He's been kind of my inspiration. He checks on me every day without fail. He checks on me or will send me a text just yelling at me, being like, "Go to the gym." So, and I need that because sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to, and then I'll get that text from him and be like, "Fine." And I'll drag myself out and go to the gym.
No,
yeah,
he's been
awesome. A big supporter, and I really appreciate it. Been keeping me going.
So one of our
also added.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just one last thing I was going to say. I also added a lot of water to my diet because, as I said, I used to drink like 5 cans of pop a day. So I cut that down to the point where I'm drinking a lot, like at least 4 of my 20-ounce like Yeti cups of water, along with. I did actually find out. I was talking to Wigit before the show. I found out that I cut soda out of my diet completely, and I was not losing any weight at all. And I'm like, why am I not losing weight? And I'm looking like at reasons why I could not be losing weight. And one of the reasons I found was that caffeine is actually a stimulant that helps your metabolism. Mm-hmm. So by cutting out the caffeine completely, I tanked my metabolism and wasn't losing any weight.
So there's your
my body was just holding on to all the calories. Right. So I added. I have one of my vices is Monster energy drinks, and I drink these 0 sugar, 10 calorie monsters. So I'll have like one of those in the morning now, and as soon as I started drinking those, started losing weight. So
yeah, I haven't touched a Mountain Dew in so dang long, but I needed extra caffeine boost today because I've been going nonstop packing.
I was gonna say, liar! I can see you holding one right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying I got one for the first time in about 2 months, and I drank half of it, and it's too sweet now.
I was gonna say, I bet it tastes super sweet.
Way too sweet. I can't do it, which I'm happy about.
If I drink a Mountain Dew, it has to be the Mountain Dew Zeros now because the regulars are just too sweet.
I've been trying to do 0 sugar stuff, and it's been so hard. It's the taste. I can't get over it.
See, that's weird because I can't do, like, I don't do diet. I don't really like the taste of diet, but I can do the 0 sugar because 0 sugar don't really taste that much different to me.
My thing has just been iced tea lately. I've been
just
drinking
a little
lot
less
of iced
sweet.
Tea.
Yeah, the 0 sugar just tastes a little less sweet to me, but they taste like what they should.
That's fair.
Yes.
So we got a look at 2025 this week. We've got some video games that have already been released and a lot that's coming out, and we got a lot of movies. But let's hit the TV first. Let's go backwards order here.
The TV, yes. March 13th, the only show that matters of the year. The 3rd season of The Wheel of Time comes out.
I still got to watch season 2.
We all know that I'm a Wheel of Time nerd, and season 3 is coming out. I actually saw an interview about it. They're skipping a really huge part in the books. Basically, what they're doing is for season 3, instead of going with the 3rd book, they're going with the 4th book.
Really?
Where Rand goes into the wastes and learns about who he is, basically. And then once he they said that they're doing it so that he can find himself first before book 3. And then season 4 is going to be book 3, where he does another major thing to fulfill a prophecy that he's supposed to do.
That's interesting take.
They kind of, and I looked at it, and the 2 parts are kind of independent of each other. Like neither one necessarily has to go first. So I can understand why they're doing it the way they are, like for television purposes. And I think it might actually be kind of cool.
No, I think that's interesting in a good way. I think that is actually pretty smart. There's a lot of authors who write books kind of out of order.
Right. I mean, this isn't really, it's still going to be out of order, and they're going to have to change some stuff to make it work. Especially with, like, this. I mean, it doesn't really affect the main overarching story, but what it's going to affect is, like, the side characters, like Perrin and Matt and all that. That's going to have to change in some way. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to work out.
Well, it's anytime you do any kind of book to TV or movie adaptation, they gotta change things to make it work. My voice has been going out so much lately because of my allergies. Especially all the dust I've been kicking up in my room.
Yeah. And one thing about like adaptations, I know there's a lot of diehard fans out there that are like, no, it has to be exactly like the book. But like, I mean, I've kind of said this before in the show. I don't want it to be exactly like the book. Because if I wanted exactly like the book, I'd just go read the book. Like, I don't mind that they're making a little bit of a change to it because it kind of, livens it up a little. I don't know exactly what's going to happen when if I was going to tune into the show to know exactly what was going to happen, it would be like watching a rerun, and I don't want to do that. I want to at least wonder a little bit about, I wonder
Yeah,
what's going to happen in this episode. So
that's fair. Did you hear about all the backlash that season 2 Rings of Power had? There was a lot of people complaining about it. Ton.
I loved it.
Most people said it was terrible and that they're
I
canceling it
loved it.
because the ratings were so bad.
They're canceling the show?
Mm-hmm.
I did not. I heard that they were like starting to film it. Like I just saw that the other day that they were starting to film season 3.
If they are, then that's news because there was a lot of talk about it. Look up all the news on it. It's been crazy. People saying how terrible it is and how they messed up everything and this and this and that. I was just like, well, I'm still gonna watch it.
How could
But
they have messed it up? It's an original. Like it's not based on any of the book.
some parts
could
of
they have messed up?
some of the lore that was already established in Silmarillion and things like that, they
Oh.
altered.
Who cares?
Yeah, and they said,
I don't know.
and some political things that they didn't like too. But
I loved it. I thought it was great. I literally can't wait for the next season to come out. I love that show.
well, let's talk about some movies.
All right, movies first, huh? One movie, the first movie on the list that I have, I didn't put every movie because we don't have time to go through every movie that's coming out this year. But I put like the bigger ones that are like well known and people have heard of. The first one on my list is on March 14th, which is coming up here pretty soon, is Novocaine. And that movie actually looks really cool.
It looks
it's got
weird.
it's got the dude from The Boys in it, and like he can't feel pain. I don't
I've
know.
seen
I
the
think
trailers.
It
It
looks,
looks like it's gonna be pretty gross.
maybe. I mean, it is the guy that's in The Boys. I mean, that show's pretty gross in itself, but I don't know. It looks like it's kind of cool. I mean, the things you can do to a guy who can't feel pain could be kind of gross.
Out to save this girl he just met that he's in love with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my lady's making me go see this one, and yours is
Yeah.
too. So this is. I feel sorry for us, but we have to do it.
The new Snow White comes out on the 21st.
I hope what you
and-
said when we were talking before the show is true.
Oh, if you watch any of the new trailers, you can tell. Like, so this movie got tons of backlash because the main actress ran her mouth too much, and she basically told everybody how this movie was going to be a new take on Snow White, where she's the hero and doesn't need a man to save her, and the dwarves were all going to be these like tall, multi-ethnicity people, like that. Like wore bright colors, and it was just like everything about the movie was supposed to just not be your traditional Snow White.
Not Snow White at all.
Well, it got so much backlash that it's now just Snow White. If you see the trailer, the dwarves look like the dwarves.
They look
Snow
creepy.
White, the story looks like every other Snow White movie we've ever seen. The only
I think
Snow
the
White.
dwarves look really, really creepy in the trailers.
See, the funny thing is, and I know it didn't get the best reviews when it came out, but my favorite Snow White movie I've ever seen was Snow White and the Huntsman,
I thought it was pretty decent.
and it was the one that kind of deviated from the tale a little bit, and I thought that one was good.
I've never
I enjoyed
heard
it.
of the third movie I've listed, Death of a Unicorn.
Death of a Unicorn. That's another fairly big movie that's coming out. Oh crap! I closed my page. I know it's got Jenna Ortega and another major actor in it, and it's about like a girl and her dad who are on a trip and like hit a unicorn and with their car and kill it.
Oh wait, I have seen this trailer. It's like a horror.
It is kind of like they decide to like use its magical powers, and then like there's all these weird side effects.
And then another unicorn comes hunting them and kills them all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind
I
of
remember
it's kind
that
of
one.
a horror movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Jenna Ortega. She does like dark movies. Like
It's
most
one of
things
those
she's in
monster
seem dark.
horrors.
Kind of. April 4th.
I'm going to go see this one.
Not a lot of people have heard of this movie. It's based off, I guess, some video game that
Yeah,
some
a
people
little known
play.
video game.
A Minecraft movie.
I can't
Yeah.
wait. I saw the latest trailer and I was dying. I can't wait to see it.
I really hope it's good.
So far, it looks like it could be. I mean, it's definitely a different take on Minecraft, but the way they kept true to the world and just made it live action is hilarious. Have you seen the animals and the creeper and everything like that? They're hilarious.
Watched all the trailers and everything for it, and it looks hilarious. I'm just really hoping it's good because some of the movies I've been really looking forward to lately have like Borderlands movie ended up being hot trash. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that they do this one good and that it's good and that Jack Black doesn't go over the top and make it goofy and well, I mean, I hope it's goofy, but I hope it's still good.
Well, yeah, it's definitely gonna be goofy. There's no doubt about it. Now, a lot of people were hoping it would just have been like with the original story, which there's no real story to Minecraft,
No,
but
there's not.
how it was gonna be just like Jack Black's character as Steve, and how he found himself in this world and he's learning how to survive in Minecraft alone, like the game is pretty for the most part. But Minecraft is also a huge multiplayer element to it.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. My birthday is April 1st, so my lady and I are gonna go see that movie shortly after my birthday because I've been excited. So hopefully it's good.
Yeah. Because I do want to get to the video games and stuff, I'm gonna go through the next ones kind of
Yeah.
fast. There's not a bunch of huge, super good ones coming out this year. On April 18th, Sinners, which is a vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan. Thunderbolts. That one looks like it could be okay, but Marvel's been kind of crapping the bed
Yeah.
lately with their movies.
There's a lot of backlash
Um,
about Thunderbolts lately, from what I've seen.
the Lilo and Stitch,
Live
May
action.
23rd, the live action. That actually looks like it could be kind of funny. The Super Bowl ad thing they did with him running around the field was hilarious.
That was funny.
Mission Impossible Final Reckoning comes out on May 23rd as well, same day. I hope Lilo and Stitch kills it because
Yeah.
there's they need to stop with the Mission Impossibles already. They lost me at like number 3. Karate Kid Legends, May 30th. I am actually excited for that one.
Yes,
That one
me
looks
too.
pretty good.
I like how what they're doing with it.
How to Train Your Dragon live action comes out June 13th.
Gotta see that one.
That's one of my favorite animated movies, so I hope they do it justice. Jurassic World Rebirth comes out on July 2nd. Another series that I wish they would have just stopped with because, but this one has Scarlett Johansson in it, so it's automatically going to be on my list of movies to see.
I know that one.
The new James Gunn Superman comes out on July 11th. That looks interesting. James Gunn did a fabulous job with Guardians of the Galaxy, all 3 of them. So I hope he does good with the. I hope the new Superman's good. I know it's going to have crypto in it, which already makes me excited. I love crypto.
Never been a big DC fan. I might see this though.
Me either, but it's got Superdog in it. Come on, none of the other movies have Superdog. The new Smurfs movie comes out on July 18th.
No thanks.
Almost didn't even put that one on the list, but it is the Smurfs, so why not?
Yeah.
The new Fantastic Four on July 25th. That
This is
one,
their third attempt at making Fantastic Four. The other 2 failed miserably.
the original I thought was good. The remake not so much, but I like the original with like Jessica Alba and
Yeah, I did too.
I thought it was pretty decent.
I did too, but the critics didn't think so, and most everyone else.
The Bad Guys 2 comes out August 1st. If you haven't seen The Bad Guys, do yourself a favor and watch it.
I have not.
It is an animated movie.
Wait, yes, I have. That's a really good
and
movie.
it is so good.
The
so
fox,
good.
the snake. Yeah, it was such a good movie.
Yeah, I took my one of my kids to go see it. I'd never even heard of it. He said it was based off like a graphic novel or something, and it was so good. I had a blast.
Couple of horror movies, blah blah blah.
Freakier Friday is not a horror movie. That's the movie with it is starring Jamie Lee Curtis again, but it's the one
talking about the movies that came after that.
Oh, well, Freakier Friday, August 8th. That looks like it could be good. It's weird that they're bringing back the whole cast except for Lindsay Lohan. They're bringing back somebody else to play the daughter, maybe, I think.
Huh.
Which is weird.
Okay.
But they're bringing back Chad Michael Murray and Jamie Lee Curtis. So, I don't know. Then, yeah, a couple horror movies. The Conjuring, another series they could just be done with, comes out on September 5th.
And the next one, definitely they should have been done with.
Saw 11. The fact that there's 11 of those movies boggles my mind. There didn't need to be more than, 2.
1.
That one comes out on September 26th. Michael comes out on September 26th as well. That actually looks pretty good. It's like a biography of Michael Jackson.
Mm.
And it looks like it could be kind of good. October 10th, I am excited for this. Tron Ares. I
love the Tron movies.
I loved both of them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them. I loved them. October 24th, Mortal
Probably
Kombat
the movie
2.
I'm most excited about. Second most excited about.
I was going to say...
there's one that's way more than that.
Yeah, that movie looks like it's going to be amazing. The first one was great. We've talked about it several times on the show.
Yeah.
A new Predator movie, Badlands, comes out on November 7th.
Another long standing series.
Yeah.
See, this
could
one
be okay.
that you brought up, I didn't know existed, but I'm excited to see it because I absolutely loved the first 2 movies.
Now You See Me 3? I
Yes.
didn't know that they were making a third one
I had
until
no
I saw
idea.
it on the list.
And I had
But
to
it comes
go
out
after the
on
show. I
November.
need to go see if there's a trailer or something because I want to see that.
Yeah, it comes out November 14th, and it has all the original cast in it still, which is phenomenal. Like, I love those movies. Those movies are awesome. The second part of Wicked comes out on the 21st of November.
Never saw the first
Zootopia
part.
2. I haven't yet either, but it's going to be on streaming. I want to say it's like the 20th or 21st of this month. So then I'll watch it once it's on one of my streaming. Zootopia 2 on the 26th of November. I didn't know that they were making a part 2 to
Yeah, I
that.
never knew about that. The first movie was
But
really good. I don't know how they're going to do a second, but sure.
yeah, I mean, maybe the bunny will get another case. They're making a second Five Nights at Freddy's. I actually really liked the first one.
Never saw
I
it.
thought it was. I didn't think it was going to be good, and then I watched it with one of my kids, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this
My
movie's better than I
daughter
thought."
was a huge fan of Friday Nights at Freddy's. I used to get her all the stuffed toys and everything like that. She played all the games.
I've never played the games.
And I never, she was about the movie. She said it was too far from the story and wasn't too sure about it.
Maybe that's why I liked the movie, because I never played any of the games.
Yeah, probably.
That comes out on December 5th. Avatar: Fire and Ash comes out on the 19th.
Yes.
As long as it doesn't follow traditional Avatar form and get delayed 37 times before it comes out.
No, it's coming out. It's
Should be
confirmed.
out on the 19th?
It's going to be out 19th. It was supposed to be out last December, but there was the strike that caused a delay on it, so they moved it to this year. But then they've been telling and assuring everybody that 4 and 5 will be out 2 years apart after the third movie. So hopefully they stick to that.
On the list, also comes out the same day on the 19th. Totally gonna beat out Avatar at the theaters. Of course.
No.
The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants.
I'm going to see that movie regardless. I love SpongeBob, but no.
Yeah.
Avatar, I'm going to see it that day of at midnight.
My daughter loves SpongeBob. She's seen it all like multiple times. She'll sit there and watch SpongeBob all day long. And she decided she was going to get my 3-year-old involved in SpongeBob, so she started letting him watch it. Now he runs around the house. Can we watch SpongeBob? Can we watch SpongeBob?
It's a little story about SpongeBob. When my marriage was on its deathbed and their mom was was out of the picture completely, me and the kids started watching. It was like a tradition. I'd make him dinner. We'd sit down together as a family and we watch SpongeBob every night with dinner.
It's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. His laugh gets to me after a while. I can only watch so many episodes before that kind of drills at me. But like, me and my daughter will quote SpongeBob all the time. Like when we went. This was a couple years ago. We went to Cedar Point and we brought my stepson with us. And we're like, hey, let's go ride this ride. And he's like, we've already rode that ride. I was like, but we haven't rode it at night. And then everything we'd say, we'd be like, let's go get a drink. And then my daughter would look at me and go, at night. Just because of that one episode of SpongeBob, it was just ingrained in our brains.
2
and he was getting
hours
so
later.
mad at us. Yeah, he was just getting so mad at us. It was funny.
That's
I enjoyed
great.
it. So I'm sure we'll end up seeing the SpongeBob movie as well. So
What's interesting is that I think this year movies are kind of blah. There's a couple good ones, but only a couple.
yeah,
But yet on the flip side, though, the video game releases, they're calling this one of the best years for video games in like 20 years.
yeah. There's been some bangers, and there's some bangers. There has been, and there are some coming up. Like
Really, really
pretty
good
solid
games.
ones.
There's over 200 games that are slated to be released this year, currently. Most of which are small indie titles. Some of them look pretty decent, but...
I got to rain on your parade on one thing I see on your list.
What's that?
It was just announced either yesterday or the day before that Fable's getting delayed to 2026.
Really? I just looked it up, and it still said due for
Yeah.
late 2025.
It just came through like 2 days ago. One of my sources, I got a message saying that it got delayed to 2026.
Everything I'm seeing... wait, there's one source only that's saying delayed. Everything else, like Game Rat and everything like that, still says 2025.
IGN, Fable delayed to 2026.
Well, then
The Gamer.
that sucks because
The
that's an
Gamer,
awesome game.
Fable delayed, yeah. It's going to be great, and if they're delaying it to make sure that it's done, then I'm good with that. Because
Yeah.
I'm really getting sick of all these games. Like one game that one of my friends is really trying to get me to play, and it's one of the ones on our list here, is Monster Hunter Wilds, and he really wants me to play this game, but all the reviews I'm seeing say that it's along the lines of Cyberpunk, where it just doesn't feel like it's finished. and that like there's a lot of like what's the word I'm trying to think of? A lot of like technical glitches and stuff like while you're playing, like a lot of like can't think of the word. It's lost to me, but like
Yeah.
there's a lot of issues with the game that will be fixed in patches over the next couple months, but it's not like it's
A lot of
got
people,
problems now.
well, since we're on the subject, I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds just recently released. My brother has been is a huge Monster Hunters fan, so he's been playing it and been trying to get me to insist on playing it nonstop. He's helping me move. I told him I owe him a big one. He said, "Well, you can owe me by getting Monster Hunter Wilds."
Be like, dude, I don't have time to play the stuff I got now, and
Exactly.
I certainly won't for the next like month or so while I'm getting everything situated.
But
And by then, it
a lot
might
of
be
people have been really complaining about how they changed the combat and a lot of the core functions of the game.
yeah, a lot of the reviews I've read said that they made it like too easy, and like one of the big complaints about the game is that like one person was saying that in the first 3 hours of playing the game, they only actually got to play for about 30 minutes. Everything else was just cutscenes and stories and watching your guy walk on a mount where you can't control him. He just goes on like he's just going on his own.
Yeah, that's a problem. We're not playing movies. We're playing video games.
Right.
Borderlands 4 finally got an announced release date. It's official, September 23rd. And they released a lot more gameplay footage, and it does look really good.
Amazing. But Borderlands 3 also looked amazing to me, and the story just wasn't.
I've been reading constant articles about Borderlands 4, and everyone's saying that they're going back to what made Borderlands work.
I sure hope so.
They're taking away a lot of
that series.
That dry humor that was involved in Borderlands 3 and made it more serious. So more akin to Borderlands 2, but still having that quirky humor that it's been known for, but not as bad as Borderlands 3 was.
One of the reviewers I had to like on this game, I had to like just stop reading what they were saying because they were saying that the story got really bad with Borderlands 3 and just continued into Tiny Tina. And I was like, wait, whoa, hold on. I love Tiny Tina. Lay off Tiny Tina.
Was amazing.
Like, it was so much fun.
It's tied with me my favorite Borderlands with that and 2.
Yeah.
I absolutely love those games. Tiny Tina's Borderlands is so good. My only complaint I ever had with it was too short.
Yeah.
It was that good.
The story was a little campy, but that's Borderlands. Like,
and it's Tiny Tina.
Right. And it's the whole game is just a story she made up in her head, which is hilarious. Like, of course it's going to be funny. It's a little kid making up a story.
And that kid is demented.
Right.
Based off of like their version of D&D, which was hilarious.
I really, really hope that 4 does get back to the original formula, because I think it was the story in 3 really killed it for me. I didn't enjoy the story in 3, and obviously didn't enjoy the Tales from the Borderlands games. Nobody really did.
Yeah. Well, the first one was actually pretty decent. And it had some really cool story elements they played off of later on in later games, which was really neat.
Right.
Like Scooter's story and all that. It had some good elements to it.
It just didn't feel like Borderlands to me.
Well, it wasn't meant to be. It was just a story gap.
Even the pre-sequel, I thought was better than 3.
I did not like the pre-sequel at all. And it had mostly to do with the voice actors. Yeah, I'll give you that. The voice actors drove me insane. There was a couple of them that I had to turn the volume off. It was so bad.
Yeah.
But I did love playing Slaptrap. Yeah, it's going to have a lot to do with like how they're going to do the 4 Vault Hunters and their abilities and how they're set up. I'm really curious to get more details about how they do the skill tree, the skill system. I mean, one thing I liked about Borderlands 3 was how they did the skill system.
Right.
Now that was really good.
They've always kind of done that pretty well. It's just the story that kind of
fell flat. Yeah, it did.
Kind of the same issue I had with another game that's on the list here.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was released, and it's one of those games that's been heavy on my radar. I just haven't had the money or time to play that game. I really want to. A lot of our listeners in our Discord have been talking about it and how they really, really enjoy it. So it's on my list to play this year. I'm going to play it. It's just I don't have the time yet. And it's a medieval RPG, and it looks so good.
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of a rhetorical question because I know the answer, but what do you think of Avowed?
I think the gameplay of that game is amazing.
Because most of the people who say that they really like Kingdom Come Deliverance say that they can't stand Avowed. And most of the people who say that they don't really care for Kingdom Come Deliverance say that they really enjoy Avowed. So it's like,
why can't we just enjoy both for what they are?
I don't know, because people are crazy nowadays. They think
I
every
agree.
game has to be 10 out of 10, best game they've ever played, or it's not worth playing anymore. It's trash.
It has to be
That's
unique
just
and have amazing new features. And no, if they got the features that work, awesome. Like we have that show about Avowed Raw, if you're interested. And
yeah,
I've absolutely been loving the gameplay of the game. The combat
right.
system, the way it works is just so much fun. It's very, very smooth. They really ironed it out really well. The story, I don't know yet. I haven't finished it. But
Ugh.
yeah, I know you had
It's
some
got
problems with it.
it's got moments that are
Yeah,
bad.
I can see that.
Oh wait, I'm still waiting for you to get to a specific part, but we'll talk about that on
Yeah, Avowed
Avowed
Raw.
Raw.
When I have the time, jeez.
Right.
And Avowed did release this year. It released about a month ago. Assassin's Creed Shadows just released, and I have not heard much buzz around that game at all.
I don't. Is it out? I thought it doesn't come out until like the 14th.
I may have misread it. I thought I said February 14th.
I think it's March 14th or March 20th. I think it's this month. I've seen some people do like early access reviews and stuff on it, and they've said it's
Oh,
pretty solid.
that's my fault. It is March 20th.
Okay.
But even
One
then,
thing
I
that
have
you-
heard very little buzz about the game.
One thing that you don't have on your list that I thought that I would bring up is
Sure.
Microsoft has been hinting a lot about releasing their first party titles on other systems.
Oh yeah, that's
And-
not been hinting. They've been doing it.
Well, what have they released so far?
They released like 3 or 4 games, and I don't remember. I had got to look it up, but they've been announcing that constantly that they're doing it.
Well, I know the first one I've seen, if there has been another one, then I apologize, but the first one I've seen so far is Forza Horizons 3 this month is coming out on PS5.
Yeah, they
Which the
started
game is
doing
already
that,
out
like,
on Xbox, but this
last
is the first
year.
time I've ever seen it, like a title like Forza coming out on Xbox. I mean, coming out on PlayStation. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Starting. It has begun.
Yeah,
now when
so
I
they've-
can play.
So Microsoft has done for Forza Horizon 5. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming to PlayStation later. The Doom Dark Ages will be going to PlayStation. Ages of Empire 2 will be. Age of Mythology as well. Outer Worlds 2 and Ninja Gaiden 4 are slated for release on PS5 this year.
But they haven't yet. But
There's been only a couple.
Ninja Gaiden's been on the PlayStation, though. They're not Xbox exclusives.
I believe 4 was Xbox exclusive.
Oh, I meant like the series itself. But
I mean, they're still talking about doing PlanetSide to PlayStation and things like that.
interesting. Yeah, so I don't think any of them have released yet. I think Forza is going to be the first one.
I have to look it up because I'm pretty sure that they did release a couple last year because we talked about it briefly on the show.
Yeah, I knew that there were some that were coming to PlayStation. They just hadn't yet.
So Fable is off the table for this year. Wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah. But GTA 6 is still slated for this year. We'll see if that actually happens. Because
I was
they
going
do-
to say I'll believe that when I'm
Yeah.
playing GTA 6.
It's the first thing I was going to bring up. Like, I don't know if it will, but we'll see. Because they haven't released any information about the game whatsoever, other than like where it's based out of. All they've said is coming 2025. All the hype and buzz around this game, you would think that they would stick to that.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
they don't have anything official yet. And then we're already in March. Doom the Dark Ages actually looks hella sick, actually. It looks really good. And I'm not a huge fan of the latest Doom games, but it looks really good. And it's coming out in May.
Yeah, I haven't been a huge fan of Doom lately either. I used to play the crap out of the old school ones, but
Doom 1, 2, and 3? Heck yeah.
That and the Wolfenstein games, like I
Yeah.
used to play the crap out of those games, but I haven't played them in a while. The newer ones just haven't interested me.
So Crazy Taxi is in the works. And it's
Yes.
rumored to drop this year. But the thing that made it sound weird is they're calling it an open world MMO. Not sure how that was going to work.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, MMO is just massive multiplayer online, which means, a lot of
Yeah.
people, it could be like a Grand Theft Auto situation.
But Crazy Taxi, like, I don't know. What I'm curious about is they're going to have like this huge open city. And everyone's just running as a part of this like taxi company around the city trying to pick out fares and do everything crazy like you do in Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, you just got to beat the other people there and stuff. Like that could get cutthroat, man.
That could be
That could be
interesting.
some serious business.
Actually, that could be a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
I want them to release my favorite racing game of all time, a new one. And I just forgot the name of it. It's where the crash physics were so good. And the whole point was the crash most of the time.
Now,
Burnout, yeah. I missed the Burnout series.
I'm ready. Okay, the season 2 of this show is supposed to come out sometime soon this year, I think. So it's time for a new Twisted Metal game.
Yeah.
If they're gonna make the show and try and make make it popular again, it's time for a new game.
Some of my sources have been hinting that they've already been making it. More to come
I
on that
want
this
it.
year from what I hear.
That could make a good esports game, man.
It really could, honestly. If they do it
Oh,
right,
man.
yeah.
I'd be all over that game.
So the next 4 games we're going to bring up are a part of my favorite genre. And I know Archon and Rook are big fans of this genre too. But they're all survival games. But they're unique in how they do the survival. Each one of them is different. Now, one of them that I've been looking forward to a lot that I'm going to play when it releases, coming up pretty soon actually in May, is Dune Awakening.
Yeah, that game trolled me. Trolled me hard.
Why?
And I'm upset. Because Steam is doing this little promo thing where like they have all these demos and stuff out, and Dune was one of them that it has. And I was like, oh,
No.
I gotta check this out. So I logged in, I downloaded it, logged into it. It lets you run the benchmark and everything for it. Then it lets you make your character, and that's it.
Yeah.
You can only create your character. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me?
They announced they're going to let you do the character creation, so you can get your character ready to go. So when the game launches, you're going to hit the ground running, is what they're saying.
It made me so sad because, I mean, it was like I wanted to play at that point. I made my character, and then it's just like, okay, see when the game launches. I'm like, what?
See you in a few months. So when these games come out, they're going to suck my life away. One of them I'm not too big, I don't care about that much. But the other 3, we might do a show on 1 or 2 of these games this year. We'll see.
One of them especially.
Yeah, we've been talking about that one. I am
planning on doing a show on that. If you want to be on the show, I hope you do. But I am planning on doing a show on the fourth.
I approve that initiative, sir. I approve that initiative.
It's happening.
And I'm going to. I'm a survival nut. I'll be all over that. The Dune what makes it look really cool is that it is more along the lines of Rust in terms of massive open. So a lot of people on the same server. Lots of people. So akin to an MMO survival game.
That's going to be similar to the last one on the list from what I've seen. Like, you can play it in that way.
Yeah, and Dune's been they've been touting that they want people to really heavily focus on the group dynamic, getting their clan together, and then warring with other clans and things like that.
That'd be cool.
Subnautica 2 is supposed to have early release coming up extremely soon. They said the next few weeks.
This one, I don't know about, man.
I love Subnautica.
You've been hyping this one up, so I tried it. I tried it. I tried both of them, the regular one and Sub-Zero. And
well, how far have you gotten into it, though?
They give you nothing. You just start, and they're just like, okay, play. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I finally started figuring out what I was supposed to do, but it's so frustrating the way everything you have to do is underwater. Mm-hmm. But yet you can only be underwater for about 30 seconds before you have to surface.
That changes a lot as the game progresses.
Well, I know you get other things and stuff that help you, but to start out, even when I got my first little upgrade to my tank and could stay under for 50 seconds now, it's it's not long enough to do hardly anything. And
then you start getting submarines and other things like that help you, and you go deeper and deeper. It gets really, really good as you go. Especially when you have to run away from Leviathans. It's freaky.
I don't know. And it's trying to find things they're oh, especially in Sub-Zero where they're oh yeah, in order to build anything, you have to find the blueprint for the building gun. But where that is, good luck. Because where I found it, if I had not looked of where to find that, there's no way I would have found it.
See, I like that aspect of it. I don't like having my hand being held all the time.
Yeah, but the basic functionality of the game is to be able to build yourself your own little, your own little underwater base, basically. But you can't even do that till you find this blueprint that who knows where it is.
Well, you're surviving. You crash landed on this planet that's mostly all water, and you have to figure out your way from there. And it gets really good, especially when you have to go to the original crash ship and explore that, and you have to get prepared for it. It gets really good.
Well, and I had to, with this one, normally I like to play it in the base mode. This game, I could not play it in the base mode because I had to go to, I don't know what it's called, the mode where you don't have hunger, because I could not find food. And
fish.
Then I would find fish, but then I was just eating raw. I couldn't find any.
You're a fabricator.
I couldn't figure out how to cook your fish.
Just go to your fabricator. When you catch a fish, there's a new recipe there to cook fish.
I didn't see any recipe there for cooking fish. I caught tons and tons of fish. I had tons of raw fish in my inventory. Speaking of which, that's another thing about that game that irritated the crap out of me is that nothing stacks in your inventory. Everything takes up one inventory spot and nothing stacks. I'm every 5 minutes my inventory was full and I was trying to figure out where to put stuff. And I'm
most things that you make only require very few actual resources.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
And you do get a lot of storage as the game progresses. And my only complaint with Subnautica was it was single player only. And in 2, they're fixing that, where you can have up to 3 people with you.
Yeah, I mean, it might be fun. Like if they do like an early access, as much as early access has been irritating me lately, I might at least try.
I'll be jumping on that one for sure. The other one that has been rumored to come out for ever is been delayed time and time and again is Ark 2.
That's one I have not even played yet.
Ark itself, like
Ark.
when you make your own private server and you play with just your friends and you don't have all those a-holes running around everywhere, is a blast. I didn't like Ark until I played it on my own private server with a couple friends. And we just worked together against the world itself and dealing with dinosaurs. And it was a lot of fun. But when I tried playing it on a server with a whole bunch of other people, I just got griefed constantly without end. Constantly. And I was just done with it. But playing it on a private server, a lot of fun. Ark 2?
Private servers are a lot of fun when it comes to these survival games. Like I wish we had a private server for Satisfactory, because I would love to play that one on a private server with people, because that game would be so much fun.
Maybe. I have the capability to do servers, so.
Hint,
the one,
hint.
yeah, I know. I got your hint. It was kind of like thrown at my face. And I've been wanting to play that game more. I started getting into it a little bit before Avowed came out and before my life went upside down for a little while. I have it on my list. Of course, on my desktop, I have 6 different survival games right there.
Me too.
But yeah, this one that's next is the one we're talking about. We might be doing a show for.
No.
It's
We
gonna
already
happen.
established
It's
we are
definitely
doing
happening.
a show.
Okay, got it.
At least somebody in this network is doing a show on this. I'm telling you, on this game.
Light No Fire, which is from the makers of No Man's Sky, and they've been testing all their new features and stuff like that. They're putting into Light No Fire on No Man's Sky, which I think is a very good way to do it. And it does look very, very good, and it's slated to be released 4th quarter of this year.
The only problem I can see with this game is there better be some way to at least somewhat be able to choose where you start, or you're never going to be able to play with your friends. It'll be dang near impossible.
It's
Because
a massive world.
When I tell you this game is huge, I mean this game is huge. It is
From what I
a
did in my
1-to-1
research-
scale.
I looked in the research. Yeah, it is huge. It's like Minecraft huge.
It's no. It makes Minecraft look tiny. It is a 1-to-1 scale of the Earth. It is. You are going to have 197 million square miles of area that you can move around on.
You can look it up. Minecraft's bigger than that. But when you get
There's
to
no
the
way.
outer rims, like the millions upon millions and millions of blocks away, it tends to start glitching out and bugging. But Minecraft, if you look it up, it is absolutely insanely massive. And how they do it is they only load chunks within where the players are located. I'm wondering if that's going to be the same way with this one. They're only going to load the map, and well, they have to, and only keep it around you. So when people come in, there'll be like this home point set in the world, so that map's already loaded, and they can venture off from there all they want, but they won't be dropping in different parts of the world.
From what I've read and seen of the game, you do drop in different parts of the world, and they even mentioned in one of the videos I was watching about how like it might be hard to find your friends. Like one of the streamers I watched was saying like it might be hard to find your friends and stuff in this game because it's going to be so massively huge. And from what they said, it's going to be like as soon as you create the world, the entire world is procedurally generated, and that is your world. Like if you go to X specific location, it's always going to be like that. And anything you build, anything you do will affect the environment. And
Minecraft does the same thing. It's just it doesn't load anything. It's already predetermined by the code, but it doesn't load anything until your player is within a certain range of that area. So it doesn't exist until that point. It's just code.
But you get to fly around on dragons that they said move at the speed of F-15s. So like
that we gotta see.
And they said even on one of those moving that fast, it would still take somebody hours to go all the way around.
If they do make it a full circular based world where you can go from start at one point and eventually wind up at the same point again by going one direction, that's great.
That's what it's supposed to be.
I mean, they do that already in No Man's Sky. It's just at a much smaller scale.
Yeah, there's supposed to be like mountains and caves and everything, and like they said, it's 197 million square miles, and you can explore every single bit of it. They said so.
Oh yeah, of course you can.
It's building, crafting. They said that one of the things they said, obviously our servers won't be able to support this many people, but they said that if it could, there would be enough space in the world for every single human on Earth to create a character and have a place to build. That's insane. That's such a giant scale.
I'm curious to see how the game lives up to their promises, because with No Man's Sky, they failed on their promises massively in the beginning. They
Right.
did fix it. No Man's Sky is a great game now, but when they first released, it was nothing what they said it was going to be. So I'm hoping they
think the
learn from
fact
that and they
I think
deliver.
that the fact that they made that mistake before, and the fact that they're testing a lot of these systems in No Man's Sky, I have high hopes.
So do I, honestly. I don't think they're going to make the same mistake again. If they do, they're going to be done as a studio,
Right.
and they can't afford that. And what I love about No Man's Sky, which gives me a lot of high hopes for this game, is that they have constant updates on No Man's Sky. Every quarter, there's a new big update, and it's a big content update, and they're constantly fixing and changing the game. And if they do the same thing with Light No Fire, it can be a huge success.
Good.
So
Especially
I'm hoping.
if it with the graphical like leap that it's making, and if it's anything like the grab that Minecraft was, it could be absolutely massive. Because
Yeah.
I mean, look at Minecraft now. I mean, it's been how many years, and that game is like
One of the most popular games ever released.
you still can go on YouTube and the videos are getting millions of hits on every Minecraft video you see on there because like Minecraft is so insanely popular to
Yeah.
this day.
It's been out for 20 years, and it's still the third most populated game in the world, as in how many players are currently active.
Right.
It's insane. So
So
this has
if
potential.
it can hit on that success, that would be amazing.
So that is your look at 2025. When it
At least
comes
from the
to-
movies and
video games
movies
point,
and
yeah.
video games.
That's what we care about. All right. If you guys want to reach out to this show for advertising or other information, you may email us, podcastraw@gmail.com. You can even send us a little email, and we might even bring it up on the show if you want. If I can talk straight, I've been talking too much today. Our X is at Podcast Raw. Our Facebook is Raw Podcast. Our Instagram
Raw Podcast 1.
and our Discord, the place to be for all things nerdy and gaming and things like that. Join us on it. Discord.gg/Raw Podcasts. RAWPODCASTS. Just put that all in your browser and it'll invite you in. You can follow us individually as well. I am at The Wigit, THEWIGIT, everywhere.
And you can find me at the Archon 606 pretty much everywhere.
Rook is something or other. You can hear about it in the other episodes or this next one.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Some
much.
variation.
Yeah.
Some variation of Rook 213. You'll find him.
Yeah, you'll find him, I think. I've seen a couple other Rooks in different areas. I had trouble finding him on one thing, but that's neither here or there. Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and have a fantastic nerdy week.
Have a great week, guys.